The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning and welcome to today's webinar, Monetizing Social Media Without Being a Pest. I'm Rob Oates, Vice Chair of the IIABCal Emerging Leaders Committee. With me today is Stuart Gannis, founder and owner of Gannis Consulting. Stuart has worked as a producer, sales manager, and executive and has been responsible for managing, recruiting, and training staff of 95. Throughout his career, Stuart has consistently exceeded sales and retention targets. For today's webinar, we have muted all your phones to eliminate background noise. However, you can ask questions throughout the webinar in writing through the right-hand navigation area of GoToMeetings. All questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. Let's welcome Stuart.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to talk a little bit about sales and marketing strategies, and lots of conventions and people that you go see speak nowadays in the industry are really beating sales and marketing to death because it seems to go hand in hand in an insurance agency that when the phone is ringing, people are selling more insurance. So how do we make the phones ring? How do we use social media to make the phones ring? And how could we do it without people just tuning us out and getting sick and tired of us? Just posting, call us for insurance to save money today, call us for health insurance, call us for commercial insurance, call us for auto insurance. Because if you do that enough on a Facebook, a LinkedIn, or any platform that's out there, at some point people are just going to stop reading your messages or hit the little X in the upper right-hand corner so they don't really have to see it. So what we're going to talk about mainly today is, capturing the new local community, generating local referrals through LinkedIn and Facebook. We're only going to go through those two now. We will be at InsureFest. We're speaking Friday morning, and we'll delve a little deeper into some of the technicalities of LinkedIn, Facebook, most likely Twitter, and we may even get into some Google Plus and a couple others. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can attract local professionals in your area via social media. And something I always like to tell salespeople or discuss with salespeople when I'm training or speaking is, we can't do it with social media alone. At some point, there has to be human contact, probably via telephone. And just keep in mind that the phone doesn't weigh 500 pounds. So unfortunately, there's people in our business that feel the phone does weigh 500 pounds and refuse to pick it up unless it's ringing. So when you make a new connection on LinkedIn, when you make a new connection on Facebook, if it seems like somebody that could become a referral source or a prospective customer, it's not a bad idea to pick up the phone. If you get a voicemail, leave a quick, brief professional message, 10, 15 seconds, follow it up with an email, and you enhance your chances of selling that policy. And something else we're going to talk a little bit about is teaching local businesses how to use social media. So we train commercial producers, and one thing that we train them to do is when you're out prospecting or you're calling business or you're speaking to a business, do you have a value proposition for that business? What are you going to do for them in turn for them to hand you $5,000 for their auto insurance premium next year? And one thing that we train agencies to do is to use social media as an in to these local businesses. Because if you go to any local mom-and-pop retail business on the street, whether it's in a strip center, office building, and you mention social media to grow your business, a light goes off. And most of them know they should be doing something, and a lot of them aren't. So when an insurance agent walks in, and you're not only asking them for money for a premium, and you only see them at renewal when it's time to take money from them, and maybe periodically throughout the year you post about their business, you coach them a little bit on how to leverage these social media platforms to grow their business, it's a much better relationship. You can sell more lines of business. When the competitor comes in to try to quote the business, you're adding too much value to that relationship for them to leave you. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you could do that in addition to just posting and hoping for the best that people will actually come in and buy something from you. So the first one is LinkedIn that we're going to talk about. And before you do anything on any social media platform, the first thing you need is a following. You need contacts. You need people that follow you. So oftentimes if I get an insurance agency that will contract me to come in and assist them, first thing I do is stalk their social media pages. And when you see someone with a Facebook page with 20 people liking it, you're not really doing much there. In fact, I believe you're hurting yourself. Because when people go to do business with you, the first thing they do now is they Google you, they check you out on social media, even whether it's a referral, whether it's a new piece of business that saw some other method of advertising that you're using. Chances are people are going to Google you or go to your social media platforms to learn more about you. So the more the merrier. So our philosophy is if you have a Facebook page with 1,500 people that like it, you look like a larger organization. You look like somebody that I want to do business with because all of these people are following you, whereas when you have 15 or 20, you're not going to have the same result on a new customer. So in LinkedIn, the first thing you should do, and there's a way to do this, and I'm going to pop over to my LinkedIn in a second, but you could actually go into LinkedIn and upload your contacts from Gmail, Yahoo by entering your password. It's safe. I've done it many times. And another thing you could do in your Outlook is you could export your contacts out of Outlook by going to File, Import, Export. It shows you the tree of your inbox and your contacts and your calendar. You choose the contacts, and you could export it into Excel. I'm sure you could jump on YouTube and watch an instructional video on how to do it. Now, it doesn't move them out of your Outlook. It will simply copy them to a spreadsheet. And then you could upload that spreadsheet into LinkedIn. And what LinkedIn will do is show you a list of all of your contacts and who's on LinkedIn and who isn't. So all the people that are on LinkedIn, you could simply check a box, click send, and they'll all get an invite from you. The people that aren't on LinkedIn, I wouldn't recommend sending them something because I don't know if anyone ever gets the emails in an off email address you may have that says so-and-so thinks you should join Facebook. Facebook is used by millions for network. You don't want people to start getting those emails that are coming from you. So I would only upload to the folks that are on LinkedIn, and it's going to look something like this. So hopefully all of you see my my profile right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to add contacts, add connections. So I'm on my profile. I'm going to go to network, and I'm going to add connections. And once I go to add connections, I could add all these email addresses. If I click continue, this is my email address. The next step is going to be enter your email address or your password. Then I'm going to enter my password, and you know how Gmail, if you use Gmail, all the emails in and out, it picks all of those emails out because Gmail automatically adds people to your contacts. Then here's the Outlook one. Okay, so you could do it this way, or there's another way that you could actually export that spreadsheet into Outlook, and it'll or into LinkedIn, and it will populate everything that you have. So this is the place. So what you want to do is you want to go to your home, to your profile. I'm going to do this one more time, and you want to go to network and add connections, and then you'll be able to start building that LinkedIn profile. And I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn, of all of the social media platforms, I would say I have monetized LinkedIn more than any other social network. Facebook, I have networked, but Facebook has, you know, my wife owns an agency, and I would say about 30% of her business is generated from Facebook. And, you know, she writes about 100 policies a month in personal lines. So if she writes 100 policies, about 30 of them come from Facebook, whether it's directly from Facebook or indirectly from Facebook. And what I mean by that is there's people you may not have seen for 20 years that you wouldn't have written 5, 7, 8 years ago if it wasn't for social media because you haven't seen that person in 20 years or spoken to them. So those people are coming to her now saying, hey, I know you're in the insurance business because of these posts that you've been posting, and she's writing that business. So first and foremost, upload all your contacts into LinkedIn. Groups in LinkedIn are something that can help you if you're in commercial lines and you're looking for a niche. So if you sell, you know, electrician insurance, your niche is electricians or plumbers or, you know, retail furniture stores or suppliers, whatever it may be, there's probably a group in LinkedIn for it, and you could join that group and you could post within that group, but I wouldn't post, hey, to save money on your insurance, call me. What I would post in the groups are things that are going to help the members of that group grow their business. So if my niche is plumbing, maybe I could post an article that I saw about how plumbing supplies can be purchased at a lower cost by using a specific vendor, and maybe I'll even reach out to that vendor and explain to that vendor that, hey, I'm going to write a blog for all of my plumbing customers. I'm going to post it on LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm going to email it to my database. You know, would you be willing to do a guest blog for me as well so we could do a little 3-part type of a thing over a 2-week period? So you have to get creative, and this is what social media is. It's not just log in, post some motivational quote, or post something that says, call me at 800-555-1212 to save money on insurance, because that's not really going to get the message across. These are ways that you can get creative with LinkedIn. It's also great for referral sources. Something that I have a lot of agents do is work their local real estate community via LinkedIn. So you could join the real estate groups. You could search by profession, find that local realtor, send them a friend request. And when you get a friend request back from them, a great idea, or when they accept your friend request, a great thing to do is to email through LinkedIn that real estate contact and let them know that you're an insurance agent and that if they ever need evidence of insurance, you can help them. And whether it's commercial property, personal property, their own insurance, you're there. Make it 3 to 5 sentences so they actually read it. I don't know if any of you have ever gotten those emails through LinkedIn that are 15 paragraphs. You lose, your attention span is gone after 4 sentences. So keep it, 3 to 6 sentences, link to your website, direct phone number, email address, and put an effective subject. So one thing that we have agencies do for real estate agents or auto dealerships is in the subject line, they'll put evidence of insurance as the subject. And then the real estate agent gets something through LinkedIn or in their inbox that says evidence of insurance, and that's terminology they understand. And the same would go for commercial lines insurance. So if you have somebody that sells commercial real estate or someone who is a plumber or an electrician or a builder or a contractor or whatever you're into, you could put certificates of insurance. And in your within your 3 to 5 sentences, you could talk about the expediency of you delivering certs to your customers. So these are great ways for you to generate referral sources and new business through LinkedIn. You could also automate posts. There's tons of tools out there. One that I really like is called Buffer App, B-U-F-F-E-R-A-P-P. It's free, and I want to say you could put about 50 posts in a queue for free for 2 or 3 different social media accounts. And then if you want to pay 50 or 100 bucks a year, you could have unlimited accounts, and you could put hundreds of posts in a queue. And that's what we do. What we'll do is and I'll talk about this a little more, but we probably manage about 30 Facebook pages. And the reason we do that is in my wife's agency, what she does is she goes into the local community, and that's her value add of, if you buy insurance from me, I'll help you manage your Facebook page. So when these Facebook pages, she becomes the admin. So she'll go into this thing called Buffer App, and she'll just load them up. Motivational quotes, articles, something pertaining to that business. She has a social media engineer in her agency. All they do is post on social media, create pictures, funny pictures, serious pictures, respond to people that may reply to some of her posts, like posts, scour the internet for business opportunities. But automating the post makes it easy because, I tweet 15 times a day and I log into Twitter 2 or 3 times a week. But I have 10 or 15 tweets going out per day, so because it's automated. So that's one thing you definitely want to look into is some automation tools. Now, when you are posting, remember, it's not always insurance related. You're going to tune people out. Maybe 1 out of every 5, 7, 10 posts should be insurance related. Use pictures in your posts. As you know, and you've seen a lot of it lately, if anyone here uses Instagram, photos definitely add something to the quote or to whatever message you're trying to get across. If someone likes something or comments on something of yours, respond and tag that person in your response. So if someone says, yeah, Stuart, that's great that you did X, Y, and Z, I'll say, thank you, John Smith, and I'll highlight John Smith so they're tagged. And the reason I do that is because then all of John Smith's friends are going to see that I replied. They're going to see my profile, and they may link over to my profile, see what I do, and become friends with me or get added to my network. So make sure you respond to likes and comments. And you could also, again, use email for a personal touch. So, if you do get a new friend request and it's someone you think could be a referral source or prospective customer, feel free to just shoot them, again, 3 to 6 sentences. Hey, it's a pleasure meeting you. I'm here. Here's what I do. Here's how I could help you. Let me know if there's anything I could do for you. So, and it doesn't always have to be I could save you money or I could help you. A great thing to tell people is, hey, I'm in the insurance business. If you ever need any insurance advice, you have friends that need insurance advice, if you're in any sort of trouble with insurance, any kind of question you have, feel free to reach out. I want to be a resource for you. That's really the way we like to present that. Facebook, obviously the granddaddy of them all. Facebook is going to be more of a mix of your personal postings and your professional postings. So, I've taught classes with, 50 people, 100 people, and I've had several people that stand up and will say, well, I don't really want people to see my, my grandkid, playing wiffle ball in the backyard. I don't think my customers care about that. Well, guess what? They do. In fact, they love it. So on your Facebook, what you want to do is post personally and professionally. You want more of a blend on Facebook. And Facebook really, you could offend people. I always tell people avoid the politics, avoid the, avoid some of the things going on in the world right now that could offend people, and just really aim to be the professional, the nice person, and someone that wants to be a part of your network and wants to read your posts and look forward to your posts. Use photos in your posts. We already talked about that. Your cover photo on Facebook, sometimes you see people's cover photo would be grayed out. I recommend some sort of a current event. If you're a sports fan, maybe put something of your favorite team. My wife and I were fortunate enough, she does a lot of work with the LA Kings and the LA Kings Care Foundation, which is a charitable cause for the LA Children's Hospital and sick young children. And we went to a charity function and we took a photo with the LA Kings. In the team photo, we actually went to go to their sporting facility and we sat on the floor in front of the team and took a team photo. Well, during the Stanley Cup playoffs, we had this team photo with the Kings with my wife and I as our cover photos, and people were commenting, and it was amazing. So feel free to check out my Facebook. I'm the only Stuart Gannis in the world, so feel free to hunt me down and take a look. I think it's still up there. Playing a weekly game is helpful. We have clients that might play Hangman once a week, where they'll build a little photo with a bunch of lines, like you used to play Hangman on a pad when you were a kid. Someone will comment the letter, and then the agency will comment the dashes with the letter that was chosen, if it's a letter that's in there, and just keep going and going and going and going until somebody figures it out. Or you could use a whiteboard and take photos with a whiteboard, and as people are, filling in letters, you write a letter, take a new photo of the whiteboard, throw it up on Facebook, and do it, once a week at the same time. And, that's a great way to get people engaged. Maybe give away a prize. Maybe enter them in a drawing to win an iPod, iPad, plasma TV, game tickets, whatever it is you're giving away. But the object here is just to get people to go to your social media platform and actually look forward to, oh, wow, yeah, that's right. They just posted that tomorrow at 2 o'clock is Hangman. People are going to show up and play Hangman with you. It's really amazing. Contests are great on Facebook. Again, a lot of people in Southern California giving out Dodgers tickets, Angels tickets, which Angels tickets are tough to give away nowadays, but that's another story. But anything you could do, trivia, having a trivia question, whether it's related to insurance, this day in history, did you know, something that's just going to get people to like it or comment on it, because the more people that like and comment your stuff, it goes to their friends see that they like something, and then if someone else likes something, their friends see that you like something. So even though you might only have 500 friends on Facebook, if several people comment on something, that has the potential to go out to 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people, and you can expand your network that way, okay? And obviously make it fun. I mean, this doesn't have to be a job. Social media is fun. Invest some time in it, and, make sure that the people that are coming to your platforms and following your stuff and commenting on your stuff enjoy it. Make sure it's fun. It doesn't have to be, a job all the time. The last thing I want to talk about is blogging. Blogging is definitely something that none of us do enough of. I have a blog. I blog maybe 6 times a month, and I should do it 12 or 15. And sometimes the problem with blogging is you don't really have the time to blog, or you don't have the subject matter to blog, which we'll talk about. But this is the lowest cost, most effective SEO strategy on the planet. So you'll see SEO people, you'll see, website people tell you, yeah, $3,000 a month, I'll get you on the first page of Google. I call bull, okay? Content is king. The more content, the better. So in your blog, what you want to do is you want to post, again, not always about insurance information. You might post recipes. You might post something about the season. You might post something about summer safety. You might post something about, and you should actually have a calendar for the month and look at different events. So maybe in January you've got New Year's resolutions, you've got a President's Day, you've got New Year's resolutions, you've got, all these different things that you could write about in January. So have a calendar and maybe pass it around the office and see who could write what. So if we want to write 10 blogs in January and there's 5 people in our office, that's 2 blogs per person. And let them write something in a Word doc, 200 to 500 words, proofread it, make sure it looks good, put some links going to different pages on your website, and those are great Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter posts. So you'll be able to take those blogs and put them in your queue through Buffer app or some other automated tool you might use and say, hey, great blog on how to keep your New Year's resolution to get into exercise. Hey, here's a great exercise program for those of you who haven't worked out. In the month of January, commit to 2 to 3 days a week and doing X, Y, Z, and maybe have a little exercise plan and a little nutrition plan. So just getting creative and doing different things. If there's a sporting event, again, we were blogging about the Kings, and the Kings are in the playoffs. All the steroid controversy in baseball, you could write, just update articles about that on your Facebook page. So there's just a lot of different things you could blog about, and it doesn't always have to be insurance. Now, it should be about insurance once in a while, maybe 1 out of 5. You could just get into one of those blogs of how you have the save-o-meter. So I have a customer that we created a save-o-meter. And what they do is every time they write an insurance policy, whether it's personal, commercial, or benefits, they calculate if they saved the client any money, and if they did, they keep a running tally. And what they'll do is they'll say, hey, our save-o-meter's up to $17,000 this month. We added $17,000 to California households by saving them money on this premium. How would you like to save money? Please contact us today. And that's their, advertising blog. Let's go for the money. Let's try to get some attention here, get some quotes here. And then they'll go back to the regular blogging, keeping people engaged, and then, a week or so later, bam, another one. Hey, we saved somebody X amount of money, or we have so many companies, or you should try us for this or that. So, again, same thing with blogging, fun, engaging content. Little League opening day, if you have a kid in Little League, or a nephew, a niece, a friend, a relative, if you're a coach, go down to Little League opening day, take some photos, throw it up on your blog post. Little League in Redondo Beach was a huge success. On opening day, the mayor did XYZ. XYZ Insurance was proud to be a part of it. We hope you can make the games next week, Saturday. So these are the kinds of things that you could do in terms of blogging to get your get your social media followers engaged. And that blog is going to be on your website. So when I post something on Facebook with a link to my blog, I'm building a backlink to my website. So when someone clicks on that and goes and actually reads the blog, they're on my site. So now I have a better chance of them touching my logo and going to my home page. Maybe there's something along the blog that has a get a quote button, and all of a sudden I'm increasing my traffic to my website. So that's a big positive, a big plus. Link it to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, any sort of social media platform you're on. When you blog, it should hit all of those platforms probably between days 1 and 3 from the time you write it. So if I write a blog today, I'm going to post something today about that blog, and then I'm probably going to post something maybe one tomorrow, but definitely one the next day, because people may have missed it day 1, and day 3 they'll have a chance to see it. Sure, the blog is 2 days old at that time, or the article that I linked to, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not that concerned about it. Now, something else you could do with your blog is, you have get a guest blogger. So sometimes you might have a commercial customer that likes to write or has a blog, and you can say, hey, let's do a series over the next 5 weeks on on something related to your business. How can people prepare their homes for the winter? How can people prepare themselves for the holidays? How can whatever kind of business they're in, and get them to guest blog for you. And they'll actually write a blog, and you'll credit them, and you'll link it to their website, you'll link it to your website, and then you have all these links in Google going to your site, their site, your blog, and that's positive. That's SEO. That's basically what you're building at that point. And again, I already said it, but your blog should be on your website. I mean, you could have an off-site blog that links to your site, which is great and definitely helpful. But if you're only going to have one blog to maintain, I definitely recommend having it on the agency's website. Definitely recommend that. If you're out of ideas when you're blogging, because that's the toughest thing. I mean, if someone really wants to blog twice a week, sometimes you'll sit there and you can't think of what to write. Go to IJ, go to Rough Notes, go to one of the industry rags, and find an article that pertains to something that you've written about or something that your followers are going to like, and write the first paragraph in your blog, and then credit that that publication and link to the actual article. So if Insurance Journal has an article out about something, you could write, the first 5-6 sentences on your blog, and then underneath just say, this article was courtesy of Insurance Journal. To read the entire article, click here, and you have a link going to Insurance Journal, and bam, there you go, another link going from your website to an external source. So you don't always have to sit there and write the perfect thing. You could always link out to another article. There's really nothing wrong with that because, again, it's difficult to come up with 8-10 subjects a month. I mean, it's just not easy. And that's why series are good as well. If you do a series on a specific subject, it makes it a little bit easier. So let's go through some basics. So automate some of your posts. Manually enter some. I mean, some of the things that we like to do, if there's a marketing rep that comes to your office, a client that's in your office, take a photo with them on Facebook and throw it on Facebook, throw it on LinkedIn. Hey, we'd like to thank Mr. Smith for coming in today. He's been a loyal client for 10 years. Great to see you today. Throw it on Facebook. Okay, that's definitely helpful. Marketing reps, same thing. Take a picture with the marketing rep, throw it up there, take a picture with them in front of your company. If you have a sign inside the office or outside the office, throw it up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. That's always helpful. But just be proactive about it. Ask people to check in. If you get foot traffic in your office, a lot of us don't nowadays, but if you do, when people come into your office, ask them to check in. Hey, will you check in into our agency? Then all their friends will see that they checked in at XYZ Insurance Agency. Maybe they'll like it. Maybe you can pick up some prospects. You never know. Adding social media to your sales and service processes. This is something that CSRs, producers, admins, people calling clients for other reasons. It's always a good idea to ask customers if they're on Facebook, if they're on LinkedIn, and if they are, ask them if they'll like your page. So there would be nothing better than for you to have, all of your clients following you on your Facebook page and to see your marketing, because it's going to enhance your referrals. So if I have a customer that is following my company Facebook page, if I'm an insurance agent, and that customer is seeing my posts consistently, the top of mind awareness is always going to be me when it comes to insurance. If they hear the word insurance at a cocktail party, at work, walking in the street, whatever it is, they're going to say, call this person. So make sure you add it to your sales and service processes somehow. It's definitely a great tool and a great way for you to enhance referrals. In the old days, we used to cold call. We would actually, pick up the yellow pages, or they would hand you old quotes that were done years ago, and they'd hand you a banker's box and say, welcome to the agency, your first day, call 200 people. Well, now that's social media. And if you could invest 30 to 60 minutes a day, to social media, you'll make more money. And I'm not talking about just, scrolling through and surfing the web and looking at Facebook and looking at your friends' photos. I mean looking for prospective contacts, looking for creative ways to post, researching good blog subjects, and really, really engaging the people that are currently following you to see if they're interested in other products or services. You'll make more money. There's no doubt about it. There's no question in my mind. And if you're not doing that, you're losing money, because there are agents out there that are doing that, and at some point, this is where most of our business is going to come from if it isn't already. Like and comment on other people's posts. That's a given. Don't just be one of the stalkers that scroll through Facebook and look at everybody's stuff and doesn't really post or comment or do anything. It's a good idea to be there. And like I said earlier, stay neutral. Don't offend anyone. I have friends that, belong to some pages that are, very far right Republican, very far left Democratic, George Zimmerman. I mean, all these current events that have happened, and they're giving these opinions on social media. And I just wouldn't do that as a business person if my goal in social media is to monetize it. I don't really want to offend anyone. I just kind of want to stay neutral, and I don't want to go there. So my advice is to just stay neutral and don't offend anyone. So again, quick review. Social media is the new cold call. Be consistent. That's, the most important thing. You can't try this for 2 weeks and say, oh, I didn't get any sales. This social media is for the, for the birds. Think about the telephone. Think about the first person, the insurance agent, that was sitting around with his insurance agent buddies and said, guess what? I'm not sitting at kitchen tables anymore, guys. I am not sitting at a kitchen table ever again. I'm going to sell all my insurance over the telephone. And all these insurance agents probably sat with him and laughed at him and said, there is no way you're ever going to be able to sell insurance over the telephone. And look what happened. Now we do everything over the telephone. Client walks in, you're like, oh, someone's in the office, really? So, be consistent with this and really believe in it. Because you could, if you're just going through the motions and not believing it and doing it with conviction, it's probably not going to work for you, and you're spinning your wheels and wasting your time. So it's all based on your attitude. It's going to determine your success, and just make sure you really go full out. No toe dipping, no, hey, I'll try it for a little while. You just really need to bust through, make it happen, and do it, and it'll work. Okay. Last but not least, some of the other areas you should look at: Twitter, Google Plus. Google Plus is definitely the way Google is taking over the world. You want to be on Google Plus. You want to have links to your website. You want to have circles. You want to learn as much as you can about that. Tumblr is a good place to look for a blog. If you want to have an off-site blog, Tumblr has some great SEO. WordPress blogs are our favorite. WordPress does an amazing job. You could get someone to design something for you, or, there's tons of vendors out there that you could choose from to build you a nice site with a blog. Automate as much as possible. You definitely don't want to, have to sit in front of social media platforms all day manually posting. But make sure you get alerts when people do reply or comment so you can do the same. So that's it. That concludes everything. Here's my contact information along with some of the services that we offer to insurance agents. We will be at InsureFest. We're speaking Friday morning. I want to say it's right during breakfast. I think it's 8:30 to 10. And we'll be talking about sales, marketing, and growing your insurance agency so you can make more money and have more fun. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Rob to see if he has any questions for me and let you folks get back to work and make some money.
Hey, Stuart, thank you very much. We'd now like to answer any questions that you guys might have. If you have not already done so, please submit your questions in writing through the right-hand navigation area in GoToMeetings. I did have one question. Being a social media rookie, if you were going to start today, what would be like the 2 or 3 most important things you would do with regards to social media?
First thing I would do is build a following. So I would upload my contacts. I would look for people that I know. I might look for customers that I've sold. I might look for, industry people, the marketing reps. I'm sure many of you have a stack of business cards sitting next to your desk in a drawer somewhere with a big rubber band around it. So I would start there. And the second thing I would do is I would look at people that are on social media a lot, friend them, and see what they're doing. See how they post, what they post, where they link, how they link, and just learn as much as you can about it. Those are probably 2 things I would do out of the gate if I wasn't that well versed in them.
Great. Well, thank you again very much, Stuart, for spending some time with us and providing us with your insight. If you would like to hear more from Stuart on digital marketing, he will be presenting one additional webinar free to all IIABCal members on September 12th. To register for this webinar or to download the recorded versions of today's webinar, please visit our website at www.insurefest.org and click on the InsureFest Digital Marketing track and web seminars. In addition, Stuart, as he already addressed, will be presenting at this year's InsureFest, October 24th through the 26th at the Las Palmas Resort Spa in Rancho Mirage. For more information on this, please visit our website as well at www.insurefest.org. That concludes today's webinar. Thank you all for participating.
Thank you.